Welcome back. Our next guest is Michele Wolff, and she's a naturopath, author and lecturer. And the topic we'll be discussing today is the importance of the nervous system and the digestive system's health. Welcome, Michele.
Thank you, Megan.
Michele, what's the difference between the two?
Well, the mind and the nervous system have a big connection. So I'm sure you've experienced the feeling of butterflies when you've been frightened about something, or having a feeling of a stab in your gut when you're shocked about something. But scientifically, they've now found that not only do we have a brain-gut connection, but also that the gut has its own brain or own nervous system, so to speak. So for an example, it produces serotonin, which is a chemical produced in the brain that helps the nervous system and helps calm the brain. So our lifestyles can have a profound effect on the nervous system, and that has an interaction with the gut. So I'll give you some examples of food and of emotional health as well. So with emotions, they can actually affect the microbiome. So in microbiome tests, which are stool tests, they test over 700 different species now, and there can be an impact on that microbiome through your diet, but there can also be an impact on how you think. So if you're stressed or have an overburden of more negative thoughts, that has an impact on the negative aspects of the microbiome. And also that kind of stress has an impact on your upper digestion, so you won't produce as much pancreatic enzymes from your pancreas, or as much hydrochloric acid from your stomach, and the liver's implicated in that as well. So if you're frightened or holding on, it can kind of shrink those digestive chemicals, and it can also have an effect on constipation if you're holding on. Whereas completely different to that, you can have diarrhea if you're very anxious about something, and that can follow the butterfly feeling in the gut. And in your diet, a lot of people have coffee, but if you have a delicate nervous system, when you have a coffee, it will likely make you more anxious, and it will either give you diarrhea or pain in the gut, or inflame the gut. The other thing that coffee does is it's a diuretic, which means it makes you pee more, and then that has an effect at moving out magnesium, potassium, and calcium, and those are major minerals for your nervous system. So you'll likely become more anxious or more stressed from those coming out. There are also lots of other foods that have an effect on the nervous system and then on the digestion. So any kind of junk food or sugar will make the body more anxious and more depleted, and then have an effect on wiping out your good flora and fauna in the gut, and having a negative effect on that. But if you have whole food, so for example, whole grains, legumes, good proteins, lots and lots of plant foods, then you'll get the nutrients for your nervous system. So the main ones being the magnesium, the calcium, the potassium, B vitamins are very important as well. And then the gut will have less effect. So if your body's too empty of those essential nutrients caused by too much stress or a problem with the diet, that will have an impact. Also, if you have long-term worry, or you have a very responsible position and you've got things going over and over in your mind a lot, you can develop inflammatory bowel disease. You can also develop inflammatory bowel disease from the wrong food. So there's a combination of things that can affect the gut and the nervous system, but the main ones are what we eat and how we feel and how we think.
Oh, fantastic. Is there any special foods or herbs that can assist with this?
Most people will have heard of chamomile. This is both a relaxant to the gut, and it also has a slight bitter taste, and that anything that's slightly bitter helps you produce more good digestive enzymes and good digestive juices, and it helps you produce more bile, which is necessary for the digestion as well. So ginger's a really good digestive, cardamom, fennel and peppermint. Those are really excellent also for building up the strength of your digestion and to have after food to help you digest that food more easily. So they might stop bloating and wind and make the whole passage of digestion easier. And you can use these spices generally in your food as well. So the more you use digestive spices, cumin is another one, the stronger your digestion will become.
That's great. Do you have any extra tips for our viewers on how to improve their digestive health?
Yeah, sure. So firstly, sit down to eat. I think a lot of us eat on the run, eat in the car, eat standing up. So sit down, chew your food really well, and practice one meal a day where you're actually chewing until the food is a liquid in your mouth, because you've got a lot in your saliva in your mouth that starts the digestion of food. Make sure you're generally well hydrated. Make sure that you don't lie down after eating. This weakens the digestion. So you're best to go for a walk for at least 10 minutes after a meal. Avoid eating late at night. So your digestion is strongest when the sun's highest in the sky. So that's normally between 12 and 2. The other thing is to only eat when you're hungry. So if you're eating and you're not hungry, it means you're still digesting the meal from before. That could be the night before. At the same time, don't let yourself get starving. You know, that can be detrimental to the body as well. We need to be nourished as well as have times of fasting, as well as having the spices that I've mentioned. And with your plate of food, just a healthy general plate of food would be half a plate of plant food with lots of green leafy vegetables in there. They stimulate the liver to produce more bile and help digestion. A quarter of a plate of carbohydrates, so within that would be starchy vegetables like sweet potato and pumpkin, or whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, buckwheat. And then about a quarter of a plate of protein, whether that's animal protein, vegetarian protein or vegan protein. And within that about 20% of good healthy fats. They are very important for your nervous system. And that's a good balanced meal. And fluid is best to have warm for your gut, so that absorbs more. And you need to have enough for your height and weight. So if you times your weight by 33, so say if you're 60 kilograms and you times that by 33, you'll get the amount of mils, so it might be 2,000 mils, which is 2 litres, that you should have a day. And it's important to drink systematically.
Thanks for such valuable information, Michele. If you'd like to know more about the importance of the nervous system and the digestive system's health and Michele Wolff, please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. That's all for us from today. Bye-bye until next time.